everybody. If you're new to the channel, my name's Kelly, aka the Seahorse Whisperer. My finger still hurts, but you get the drift. Seahorse Whisperer. Okay, anyways, I'm Kelly, the Seahorse Whisperer, and I do videos about seahorses, macroalgae, reef tanks, and basically everything saltwater. So, if you like the videos or you're interested in seeing more, be sure to subscribe. That really helps me. And if you want to make sure that you see episodes as I get them uploaded, hit the bell and you will be notified of all future videos. But either way, welcome. And let's get to the video, shall we? Today's video is about the top 5 things that I wish I had known before I bought my seahorses. Maybe a better way to say it is the top 5 things that I wish I'd listened to my mentors about. Because once you get a little bit of experience with a saltwater tank, it's extremely easy to say, I know most things, and you know, seahorses are saltwater fish, so I can wing this. Or take some of the advice, but not all of the advice. Something that's a little bit too much work, you know, that one can wait. Apologies for the hair and such. I got off work, it's been a long day, and I'm trying to get better at this, you know, vlogging. There goes the finger, vlogging. I'm trying to get used to the camera because people keep telling me to get on there myself. And so, this is me. Seahorses are my life. I love them. Okay, well, so I do have a really good boyfriend and awesome kids and some very good friends, but I love my seahorses. And I would not take back any of the time or experiences that I've had with them. I've had a lot of heartbreaks. That's why I do these videos. It's hoping that I can help you avoid those heartbreaks. But they're all because I made mistakes and didn't listen.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Number 1 was quality over quantity. I teach my kids that nothing in life is free. If you want something nice, you're going to pay for it. And if something's cheap, there's probably a reason. The same thing holds true for seahorses. Okay? If you see seahorses that are a lot cheaper than anywhere else, you might want to investigate further and ask some questions before buying them. Buying from a breeder is good for 3 different reasons. Number 1, they care. They raise these seahorses. I mean, from babies. I've done it. I can tell you it's a lot of work. And while some breeders might not have the personal attachment that I have with my seahorses, they still care. And their entire reputation relies on those seahorses. If they sell a sick seahorse, their reputation will fail and their whole business will go under. So, in a strictly business sense, who do you think is going to give you the best seahorse they can? There's also the fact that tank bred, tank raised, captive bred, they all have different meanings nowadays, unfortunately. When you buy from a breeder, that seahorse was born in that breeder's tank. He was raised in that breeder's tank. It's used to living in a tank. It did not come from the wild, literally. When you buy from anyone else, you at least have to ask the question. Because again, captive bred seahorses will be weaned onto frozen foods, used to living in a tank, so they won't get as stressed out. They haven't been exposed to all the pathogens in the ocean, and it helps conservation. You're not taking from the wild. You're letting the wild seahorses stay in their ocean happy, even though the ocean is terrible these days. And buying seahorses that were bred for the hobby. That's why they're being bred. That's why these breeders work so hard. I'm always going to be a person who promotes captive bred seahorses and buying from a breeder. When I got my first seahorses, I got them from Seahorse.com. And I actually was fortunate enough to meet Dan Underwood, and he became my friend and mentor. It's really funny to think back on the first conversation with him, because I'm so embarrassed. I actually gave him a hard time. I was the one saying, I can get Seahorses so much cheaper online. Why should I buy yours? And oh my gosh, your shipping charges are that much? I didn't understand the difference between a captive bred Seahorse from a breeder and a Seahorse in general. I didn't know how much more I would spend in treating, deworming, replacing Seahorses come from a bigger online vendor. My Seahorses were healthy. I still have them. My two females, biggest females, are from Seahorses. They're my original two Seahorses. They're that old. They've lived this long. There's excellent vendors. Not insulting anyone, just saying that the larger online names, stay away from them. Okay, so number 2 is that temperature matters. Like if you have a reef tank and you're doing coral, you know that temperature matters anyways. You know, I'm not even going to get into that in this video. But because people have such different opinions about what temperature is right for a reef tank. But in a Seahorse tank, it's even more important. The temperature you want to stay beneath is 74 degrees Fahrenheit. And when I first started with Seahorses, luckily my mentor told me that the reason you want to keep your temperature below 74 degrees is because above 74 degrees, bad bacteria can multiply really quickly, attack, and hurt the Seahorses. And I set my entire house, my central air, so that my temperature would never go above 74 degrees. Actually, I think I set it to 74, my tank stayed 71, 72. The Seahorse tanks. My reef tank, I just kept it here and all was well. Anyhow, unfortunately for me, in case you did not see my video on treating my Seahorse with a vibrio infection, I learned the hard way how important temperature is to a Seahorse tank. One day, something failed in my home system, in my central air system, and by the time I got home and realized what was going on, one of my adolescent tanks had reached 80 degrees. And you think, well, that's not too high of a jump, big deal, whatever, right? Well, the problem is that, and actually, to be honest, that day, I lowered the temperature and everything seemed okay. I mean, the Seahorses were stressed, you could tell they were breathing heavy, but it wasn't like they were dead. So, I thought everything was cool, moved on, but almost immediately, they started having problems. And within a couple of weeks, I had a Seahorse losing skin. Like I said, I won't go through it, but you can see it in the other video. I was lucky enough that I had good people helping me, and I was able to save the Seahorses. But I had raised those Seahorses for 7 months. I really cared about them, and I did not want to lose them, and I just didn't realize the temperature meant so much. And I left my tanks open to a temperature spike by not being more careful, frankly. So making sure that your tanks stay under 74 degrees is truly important. It's just terrible to see a Seahorse with a bacterial infection, and some of them move faster than others, and your Seahorses can be really sick really quick. So keep the temp under 74, please. All right.
Woohoo! That's a wrap. Time to eat.
So once you understand how important temperature is, and
Aw, man.
that affects everything else. You can't add coral that needs a higher temperature, or even macroalgae, or anything, fish, anything that needs a higher temperature, you don't want to add to a Seahorse tank, because then you're balancing. Oh, do I care more about the coral or the Seahorses? Do I want to keep the temperature in between somewhere so they're all happy? No, you don't. I promise, you don't, you don't, you don't. If you're going to do Seahorses, keep the temperature under 74 degrees and keep things with the Seahorses that like the temperature under 74 degrees. Gorgonians, I have macroalgae. There's some species I can't keep. It sucks. I can't keep some coral. Boo. I care about seahorses. So my seahorses live for a very long time because I keep things with them that will not die because of the temperature and create an ammonia spike or create nutrient craziness. So number 3 is, of course, flow. Now, I am all about following guidelines, and I am all about respecting elders, and I'm all about veterans knowing what they're doing and taking advice from people with experience. But if there's one thing that the experts and the veterans were wrong about, it was flow. Almost everything that you read online is going to tell you that seahorses need low flow. And to be clear, there are some species, especially wild species, or the smaller dwarfs, that need a low flow environment. But the larger species, the erectus, the cuda, the three-eye, all of the larger species of seahorses love flow. For every single article that you find that says that seahorses need low flow, let me know. I will post you a video of seahorses sleeping attached to power nets. Covered, of course, to keep their tails safe. But yeah, they love flow. They flow dance. They need some areas of rest. They need some places to calm down. But they love flow. The experts were wrong. It happens. But if you look at the tank, every spot in the tank moves. Maybe not all the time, but it moves. Even the slow and low flow spots should move. If we're going in there, if you have an algae there, it should flow just a little bit every once in a while. There you go. Variety in the diet is extremely important. I recently did interviews with Chad Clayton from Reef Nutrition or Reefing. You can see them on the channel, and there's actually contest, go look. But the point is, I didn't even realize how important it was to make sure that your seahorses are getting variety. And that's me. I've been doing this for years. I'm breeding seahorses. And I didn't realize, I didn't understand why my seahorses, my babies, wouldn't thrive. And my seahorses sometimes just wouldn't look so great. And it's because I was giving them the required mysis feedings. But it wasn't giving them variety. By providing a live treat now and then, you don't want to provide it too often, because then they'll revert back and remain in moment. You don't want that. But by giving them a treat once in a while, with live food, Artemian, goat pods, whatever, you can not only enrich their diet just by that, but you can also enrich the feeds. You can feed whatever you want to the organism that is going to become the food for the seahorse. Vitamins, medications. I mean, it's endless. Anything you want your seahorse to have, you can give to these little organisms, gophilides, whatever, and your seahorses get it. I mean, it's awesome. So, number 5 and most important, and this is the one, I admit, I skipped out on this one. Quarantine. A quarantine tank will save you so much heartache. I promise. If you quarantine your seahorses, I mean, if you buy from a captive breeder, you know the breeder, you know their seahorses, you know your tank, you started with dry rock, that's different. But if you're buying seahorses from someone you're not sure of, or for your first time, quarantine them. It's not that hard, it doesn't hurt anything, and your seahorses are stressed when they first come in. They've either been through shipping, or they've been through a car ride. These seahorses are on car rides in Florida. So they're stressed, they're upset, they're anxious. When a seahorse is stressed, its immune system is lowered, its defense mechanism, if you think of Star Wars, their force field, their shield, whatever it's called, it's down. So anything that came from live rock in your tank or anything else is going to be able to attack them. If you put those seahorses in the quarantine tank that's clean and clear and sterile and perfect, Even if you don't want to treat, you can at least observe. You can let those seahorses get to know you. You can let them start eating properly. You can make sure that they don't have any problems coming in that you're bringing into your tank. Just observing is better than nothing. I personally treat my quarantine tank, but just observing is better than nothing. And then once you've quarantined your seahorses and you've had it going for a while, if you decide after some time that you have enough experience and you know your seahorses and you know how they react and you know when they're upset or they're stressed out, and you decide that you want to add some things, and well, if you quarantine it, you avoid adding anything to your tank that might be bad. Even just the observation. So many things. Aptasia will poke its little head out as long as there's a food source. So as long as you're feeding whatever is in the quarantine tank, aptasia will show itself. And you can not add that thing to the tank or get rid of it. Even on snails. If they die immediately, that's not something you want in a seahorse tank. You don't want dead snails and waste. But that's my number 5. As a bonus, the bonus is advice is only as good as the experience of the advisor. Okay, so I see a lot of new people setting up seahorse tanks, and I absolutely love seeing new tanks, and I love seeing newcomers, and I love seeing people do things differently. I have some very good friends that are working on conditioning seahorses to be able to be kept in a reef. I have no problem with that. I think that's awesome. However, it drives me absolutely crazy to see a new person that's getting ready to set up their seahorse tank ask for advice online, and everybody under the sun that's had seahorses for 6 months has an opinion. Unfortunately, it's up to you. It's up to you whose advice you take. So all I'm going to say is remember that people draw their advice and opinions from their own experience. So a very good way to know whether you should take that advice is to ask a couple questions. How long have you kept seahorses? Are you currently keeping seahorses? And can I see them? Can I see the tanks? Because if somebody's telling you, giving you advice about seahorses, and then posts a reef, I might not want to take that advice. Or if someone says they kept them 10 years ago, they might have really good information. I'm not saying they don't.
But just like the flow recommendation, things do change as we learn more. So my advice to someone who wants to be successful with seahorses is start off with the guidelines that are proven that you'll find on any breeder's page. And don't make the mistakes that I did by taking only some of the advice. Take the guidelines, use them, follow them, and don't listen to people who are telling you that you can get away with more. Base that decision on your own experiences once you have some. Start off with the guidelines.
The seahorses are different. You'll hear me in all my videos say that seahorses are not that difficult, and they're not. But they're different. And they do have specific requirements and the guidelines. They're there for a reason. So, back to the point.
Mr. Starving did get his dinner. He's such a character. He rarely leaves any left for the girls. But he got his dinner, and I've completed another video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we all hope to see you again soon. We'll have more top 5s coming up real soon. Don't forget to subscribe.